Okay, so we've talked about all the cool stuff in this new Crown Victoria, but to really appreciate it, we got to understand where it came from, right?
Yeah.
The legacy of this car is huge.
Yeah, the Crown Victoria, especially that generation that ran from, what was it, like 92 to 2011. I mean, that wasn't just a car, it was like an institution.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. You saw those things everywhere. Police cars, taxis, like everyone's dad seemed to have one.
Exactly. And they were built like tanks, you know. They were so dependable, so roomy, you could pack the whole family in there plus luggage and still have room to spare.
And they just had that presence on the road,
Mhm.
Like you knew when a Crown Vic was coming.
Absolutely. And that boxy shape, it's funny how that's kind of come back in style now, isn't it? Like all these new cars are trying to capture that retro look, but the Crown Vic, it just had it naturally.
I think it's that no nonsense attitude, Like
Yeah.
it wasn't trying to be flashy or anything. It was just a solid, dependable car, and people respected that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a car that was built for the real world, not just for show.
And let's not forget about all those movie and TV appearances.
Yeah.
I mean, those Crown Vics were like stars in their own right.
Oh, yeah. Especially those police chase scenes, you know, with the Crown Vic Interceptor. Talk about iconic.
Yeah, it became like the quintessential cop car up there with the donut and the aviator sunglasses.
Uh-huh.
But it was more than just a cop car. It was a family car, it was a work car, it was a taxi.
Yeah, it was a car that could do it all.
So what was it about the Crown Victoria that really made it so special? Why did it become such a legend?
I think it was a combination of factors. It was affordable, it was reliable, it was spacious, it was a car that people could count on, a car that could handle anything you threw at it.
Yeah, yeah, it was a workhorse, but it was also like a member of the family.
Exactly. And I think that's what Ford is trying to recapture with this new model. They're not just trying to build a retro-inspired car. They're trying to evoke a certain feeling, a sense of nostalgia for a time when cars were simpler, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I get that. It's like they're trying to bottle that Crown Victoria magic and bring it into the 21st century.
Exactly.
So the big question is, can they pull it off? Can this new Crown Victoria really live up to the legacy of the original?
That's a tough one. I mean, they've definitely done their homework, you know. They've incorporated the classic design cues, they've got the powerful engine, the spacious interior, and they've added all the modern tech and safety features that people expect.
So it's like they're trying to bridge the gap between the past and the present,
Exactly.
appealing to both the nostalgia crowd and the younger generation who might not even remember the original Crown Victoria.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
Well, I guess only time will tell how the market reacts.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if this new Crown Victoria can capture the hearts and minds of drivers like the original did.
Okay, so we've talked about the looks, the performance, the history.
Hmm.
But let's dive into the specifics, the nuts and bolts of what makes this car tick.
Yeah, let's talk features.
All right. So starting with safety, what kind of safety tech is Ford packing into this thing?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, it comes standard with the Ford Co-Pilot 360 suite, which is pretty impressive, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I was reading about that. It's got a whole bunch of driver assist features.
Oh yeah, we're talking adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, automatic emergency braking, you name it. It's probably got.
So it's like having a co-pilot in the car with you, helping you stay safe.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's all about reducing driver fatigue, preventing accidents, making the driving experience more enjoyable, more relaxing.
I can definitely see the appeal of that, especially for long drives.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what about the fun stuff? The tech features that make a car feel modern, feel exciting.
Well, you've got that giant touch screen, which is a real centerpiece of the interior. It's super intuitive to use. It's got great graphics and it's loaded with features, you know.
Like what?
Well, you've got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you can seamlessly connect your smartphone.
Okay, that's pretty standard these days, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's still a great feature to have. And then for the audiophiles out there, there's an optional Bang& Olufsen sound system.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the best in the business.
So they've really covered all the bases, haven't they? Safety, connectivity, entertainment,
They have. They've really thought of everything.
and it's all wrapped up in this package that's both familiar and new at the same time.
Yeah, it's a really interesting blend of heritage and innovation.
All right. Well, I think we've given our listeners a pretty good overview of the 2025 Crown Victoria so far.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
And I think it's safe to say that this car it's something special.
It is. It's definitely a car worth paying attention to.
It's funny, like as we've been talking about this Crown Victoria, it makes me think about like how cars, they're not just machines, they're like part of our culture, our history.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about all those iconic cars, the Mustang, the Corvette, the Beetle. They all represent like entire eras, lifestyles.
Yeah, yeah. And the Crown Victoria,
Yeah.
it was definitely one of those cars that had that aura of dependability,
Mhm.
It was a workhorse, but it was also, I don't know, just it had a certain something.
Yeah, it definitely had a presence, and for a lot of people, it brings back like
Yeah.
a lot of memories, like simpler times.
And that's what I think is so interesting about what Ford is doing with this new model. They're trying to capture that essence, that
Yeah.
feeling, but also like make a car that's relevant for today.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance for sure. You don't want to just like rehash the past. You gotta move
Right,
forward.
right. It's got to be modern. It's got to have all the latest tech, but it also has to like respect the legacy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so exciting about this 2025 Crown Victoria. It's a real test case for how car makers can bring back these classic names without becoming, dinosaurs.
Yeah, the car industry is changing so fast, electric vehicles, self-driving cars. It's a whole new world out there.
But people still love those cars that have like a story.
Oh yeah, I think there's always going to be a place for cars that have like a sense of history, a connection to the past.
Crown Vic, it definitely has that. It's got a lot of stories to tell,
A lot of stories. And now Ford is adding a new chapter.
and it'll be interesting to see like
Yeah.
if this new chapter, if it can like live up to the previous ones.
I think so. I mean, if they can really capture that magic, that essence of the Crown Victoria, I think they could have another icon on their hands.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We will.
But I'm optimistic. I think they've got a good shot.
I do too.
So to wrap up our deep dive today, we've talked about the 2025 Ford Crown Victoria.
Mhm.
We've looked at its design, its features, its performance, and we've explored the history, the legacy of this iconic car.
It's been a fun journey.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
And as always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking questions.
Absolutely.
The world of cars, it's a fascinating place. And we'll be back soon with another deep dive to explore another corner of this amazing world.
Until then, happy driving, everyone.
Happy driving.